Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 37 of Couples Coverage. I'm your host, Nicholas Moriano, and I'm joined, as always, by my beautiful fiance, Stephanie Abonce. How you doing, baby?
I'm doing good. Feels nice and cozy. It's October 1st.
We have some wine glasses.
Cheers, some wine.
And updates for this episode 37 from our previous episode that we just recorded last week.
Yeah.
And not last month.
2 in a row.
Yeah.
We're doing good.
We're doing good. We're doing
I guess it's too early to say we're doing good, but this is the first time in a while that we've done 2 weeks in a row. And like we said, we're going to record on a Tuesday. So today is Tuesday.
And you'll be listening to this on Wednesday morning when it releases bright and early.
Yeah, bright and early.
And wait, so
I'm feeling good. Wait, I should ask you how you're feeling because you are going through it a little bit this morning.
I was going through it this morning. I was kind of going through it the day after our engagement party because we had
But that night. It was that night.
No, I mean, it was like during the whole first half of the game. I wasn't myself because we did some good amount of drinking and we're hanging out, partying. So it was, I think I'm good now. Actually, we'll see tomorrow morning, honestly. But I'm fine, and I'm better now that we're here recording, and we're gonna tell you everything that happened at our amazing engagement party. We were, gonna give you the updates, but just so everybody who listens to Couples Coverage, you want to keep continuing to listen, you got to make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel at Couples Coverage. And also, if you're someone who just likes listening to podcasts, and I find out that more and more people are like that. I like watching videos, but if you like listening, you can watch us, or you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere you listen to your podcast at Couples Coverage. And of course, we are also on Instagram where we'll post all of our podcasts, and then also on TikTok as well. So got that out of the way. Make sure everyone knows where you can follow us, and then you'll never miss an episode of Couples Coverage.
Yes. Wait, you said you like watching podcasts?
I like watching podcasts.
It's so a lot of the podcasts that I listen to will release the audio first. So I'll listen to it, and then I end up listening to things twice sometimes because once the video's out, I'm like, okay, now I want to watch the video version. And I work from home a lot, so when I play my podcast out loud, you're like, you've heard that one already. And I'm like, yeah, this is like my third time.
I've heard all your podcasts already. And it's funny that with all the different podcasts you listen to, and I think we talked about this before, I know the people.
Yeah.
And I know that conversation because I've definitely heard it 3 times already. So again, we're catering to everybody, whether you just listen or you like to watch and also listen at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, we have a lot of updates today. But I did want to go back and talk about you not feeling well for a second, because sometimes it's hard for me to know when you're actually not feeling well or when you're just being dramatic.
There's a fine line there. I don't know. I feel like a lot of guys just get that when you're sick, it's just like, oh no, I can't function. It's even if it's a small cold. I get it, but no, it is a fine line whether I'm actually sick or I'm just being a little baby.
Yeah, but so we both worked from home today, and you were just groaning all morning, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he actually I was trying to get you to describe what are you feeling? What kind of pain are you feeling? And I just feel like I still never ended up figuring out what exactly you were going through, but eventually I heard you making a tea in the kitchen.
Very responsible.
Okay.
I was going to do the very demure.
Stop. Very mindful.
Very demure. But yes.
So I heard him making a tea in the kitchen. And in my head, I was thinking, we don't really have that many more of the tea packets that we have in the cabinet. We have this new box that we haven't really touched yet. My brother got us some tea from Switzerland when he went.
Very nice,
so we've had that one sitting there, but we haven't really used it yet. And then I use ginger tea a lot, and I also use raspberry leaf tea whenever I'm having cramps or anything. So I knew all those, they were pretty much gone. So I was like, what tea did you make? What are you making?
No, I found a box. I found a box of a bunch of teas, and I was like, hey, I'm going to put this and use this tea. And got the teapot going, got it nice and warm, put the little packet of tea into my Iowa thermal and poured it into my cup, and I was ready to go.
So then I was like, wait, what tea did you just make? And then you were like, oh, I found this red one. And immediately I knew exactly. Hold on. Immediately I knew exactly what you were talking about. And I was like, do you mean the menopause tea that's been sitting in the cabinet? So here's the thing. Through work, I get a lot of freebies.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of like food freebies, drinks, like the most random stuff, because a lot of the stuff is things that haven't hit the shelves just yet. And so all the stuff that gets sent to sample, or not even to sample, but it's basically stuff that's already been approved but just hasn't been in specific stores yet, will get sent, and we just get to take it home.
Mm-hmm.
So this tea specifically has been sitting up there, and when I took it, I didn't realize what it was, but it was a menopause support tea.
To be fair, I didn't even really read it. I saw like the flavor. It said like raspberry. I'm like, oh, I like raspberries, and yeah, I had
like
no
raspberries.
idea. Had no idea.
I thought that was so funny, and I don't think it would have hurt you in any way, because like it was just stuff that helps, but it did crack me up just knowing you were ready to drink this tea. I'm like, it's like menopause.
So
menopause tea.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I can go from doing that, not knowing what kind of tea that I'm drinking, and then at the same time, like I felt like I was doing the I don't know, responsible duties of like getting your car to where it needed to be like towed, and then also to like the mechanic, and I'm like getting all that out of the way. But then 10 minutes earlier, I'm about to drink a tea that's not quite for me or what I need it to be. It's like two different ends of growing up, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that I didn't even take a. Did you take a sip of it? Is it good? Have you? So you've never had it, have you?
No, I've never had menopause tea.
Neither have I. But I almost did. That was so close.
But then I made you one of like the good teas.
That was a really good tea.
Those are so good. Now I'm excited to make some more. Shout out to my brother. I don't think he listens to this, but
not yet, because we don't post consistently enough. But now
maybe Jam does. Jam, you watching? But anyways, so yeah, we have so many updates. In the last episode, we literally said we are going to update you whether or not it got like pushed back, or if we canceled, or if it went perfectly smooth. And happy to say that it went like perfect and better than I could have ever expected. And I'm still like on a little like happy bubble from it.
Mm-hmm. No, it went really well. And again, we did it at your parents' house, kind of set everything up in the backyard. But that's where we want to start, like the whole setup for this awesome engagement party that we threw. Mm-hmm. We got to your parents' house pretty early, around what, 9:30 or somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact time, but we got there really early, and like to set up for an engagement party, I mean, it starts from like the very beginning, like getting tables set up.
No, it goes further back than that.
Okay.
With like the night before, because we are like 45 minutes away from my parents, it's like we don't want to forget anything, because like I said, like in the invites, we were having my parents be like the host because it was at their place. But at the end of the day, like we were organizing this, we were putting everything together.
Yep.
And yeah, we had a lot of the stuff here in our apartment that we needed to bring with us. So it started from like the night before, making sure everything was organized and packed.
That's true. Yeah.
And ready to get loaded in the morning. Which, okay, so I work for a marketing agency that does events. And I'm more so like behind the scenes. There's people who actually put the events together, I help leading up to that, getting everything ready for that. So this is the first time that I was like, wow, I didn't realize like how much actually goes into like the physical aspect of getting things where they need to be.
That's true. Yeah. We and you were on that side of things this time for your own engagement party.
Yeah.
And it was, there was a lot that went into it. So when we got there that morning, it's unloading my car, which has a variety of different things. We pack things up, like you said, the night before, fit them into my car, and then, your parents already had stuff like out for us too, like tables and chairs, and we just had to set everything up. And where did we start? What was like what were the first thing? I mean, obviously we unloaded, but what did we do? I don't even remember. There were so many things that went into it.
Yeah, I feel like you're kind of skipping some steps.
What steps am I skipping?
You're skipping like having to go early to get flowers.
Oh shoot, yeah, we did do that. That was Trader Joe's. Shout out to you, Trader Joe's.
Shout out to Trader Joe's, has good flowers for stuff like that. Like I feel like, well, no, honestly, they just have good flowers in general, and they get like new flowers every morning. So,
we were there at 8.
We were there as soon as it opened.
8:08.
I was kind of nervous about that because I've seen people, I've seen it have lines before specifically for flowers, and I know that's a big thing, especially during the holidays. But you just never know. On a weekend, people could have all sorts of events going on that they need to be there for. So I was like, we need to be there as soon as it opens so that we can go straight from there to my parents' house. And luckily that was like easier than I thought. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to get. I had an idea, but I didn't know what they would have when the day actually came. But that was like pretty quick. I was like, perfect, this. And literally it worked out so good. And then from there we went to my parents' house. Actually, no, from there we went to your parents' house.
Yeah, we got maybe a couple of things.
Just little things that we needed that they were going to let us borrow and stuff. And then we went to my parents. And yeah, I can just feel almost like my parents' excitement when we got there. It felt, this sounds so funny to say, but this day was kind of like built up like more. I don't know about you because you're kind of very like collected, but on my side it was like built up because we mentioned it before, our parents were going to be meeting for the first time this day. And so I don't know, maybe it's just like a Hispanic household thing. My mom wanted to have like everything like perfect, so she was already out there in the morning. My dad was already like using like the leaf blower to like get rid of any like leaves in the grass. And I don't know, I can just feel like the excitement as soon as we got there.
Yeah, and they were ready, ready for a fiesta, right? But yeah, we unloaded everything and then put some, like we had some desserts that we need to put in your fridge and stuff like that, and we had all the linens that we had to. I mean, we were doing them by hand, I guess, or like with steaming linens, and we used your sister's layout to kind of set up the tables in the backyard. And shout out to Sister Fatima for just kind of having that layout. So we followed it, put the tables in the exact spot in the backyard according to the layout, put the chairs where they need to be. We were both like, we had kind of a system for the linens. Like I would hold them, and I don't know what it is they don't weigh very much, but if you just have your shoulders up like this for a while, it's tiring. Oh yeah. And you were steaming away, and we were trying to make them all look perfect. That was so, like, you know what?
Next time, just throw it in the dryer. Is what we said.
Yes, because the last one. We didn't
think about that.
Yeah, no, the last one I put in the dryer. I mean, that one probably looked the best, to be completely honest, out of all of them.
Yeah.
And the other ones, were steaming away.
We're like, okay, good enough. Next.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, because my sister is so funny. I told her, I was like, I don't know how exactly like we wanted to set it up back there yet, because like I said, this was a pretty small party because we were using the space that we had. So we're like, how do we want to kind of like figure everything out? And then one night she was like, can I FaceTime you? And she literally had it all set up down to like all the details, and it made the process kind of like mindless in a way. Like we just had to set it up according to like what she had, and it was perfect.
Yeah, it went really smooth just having that part there.
Yeah.
But yeah, we set up the chairs, put the lens on the tables, and then I thought it was a really
it feels funny that we're going through like specific details, but it was just more so like my mom was like, get here early to set up, and we're like, how long is it really gonna take? It's not gonna take us that long.
And you know what, it really didn't take us that long.
It did, because we didn't get done until like the very end.
No, I mean, what, putting out the desserts, you don't put those out too early.
No.
But we were basically done.
I mean, yeah, we were basically done, but like we still had to get ready ourselves. So like setting up and all of that, and by the time we were done, it was like,
by the time you were done,
whatever.
by the time you were done. I thought it was really nice though when, after we set up the tables, like you and your mom were out there like with the flowers that we had bought at Trader Joe's. Like I thought it was kind of just like a moment, just watching you two put the flowers in like the little vases that we bought and like decorating these for the centerpieces for each of the tables. Like that was really nice. And then I eventually came and like got them and put them on the tables and things like that. But it was just nice to see like a like bonding mom daughter time for that. Yeah,
it was very cute. I wish my sisters could have been there for that part because at that point, again, it was just like, this is so crazy that we're here setting up for an engagement. And I had the same moment. I think now it's becoming a little bit more, like it's setting in a little bit more for me. Because for the longest time, I even told you, I didn't cry or anything. We talked about this before. I didn't cry at all because it was almost like I was still like in shock or it just doesn't feel real. But lately there's been a lot more moments where it's like it's feeling more and more real to me, whether like we just got our venue, now we have a venue, or things like that. Like the night before we were making a salad. I know I said it at my parents' house, but we were making a salad for the party. And I'm like, isn't it crazy that you messaged me to go on a date and now we're here making a salad for our engagement party?
Yeah, and we didn't mention that. Obviously, we just mentioned that for the first time.
What?
Like that was also part of like what we had to do for the engagement party. Like we made this.
Yeah, but it was just one of the things, like
like
it took us a while, but
yeah, but I even like that moment, like we're doing this for our engagement party.
Yeah.
And it took time, and it was a really good.
That's when it starts to hit me. It starts to hit me when it's like little things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it made it feel like I know I've told you, but setting up for it, as stressful as it felt, because there was a lot of things like on our checklist, and sometimes to me little tasks feel really big. I don't know why, especially when I don't know, when it's something I've never done before. It could be something simple, but to me it feels like a big thing.
And then until you do it.
And then I do it, and then I'm like, okay, that wasn't that bad. But yeah, I don't know, when there's something that I don't know what to expect from it, or something I've never done, it's not that I feel like I can't do it, but not knowing how long something is going to take me for some reason really stresses me out. And that's how I felt that day.
Well, yeah, and like you said, there was a bunch of little things that need to get done, but even like, for example, on the cake that we had bought, you wanted to replace, like, it said engaged on the top of it, but
it didn't look good.
It didn't look good. Like it looked like it was done really quickly, and it just didn't, like, it needed to be redone. It wasn't the right font. It wasn't the right font. And then you got some, I don't even know what, like the cake utensils, were able to smoothen it out, and then engaged yourself. And that was just a thing on the to-do list. And I know you were kind of like a little worried about it, but once you did it, it's like you wouldn't know that it was just replaced. Like that looked store-bought, how it's supposed to look, but you did it really quickly, I felt like.
Yeah.
And again, I completely understand like the whole idea. Like you see all these things on a list of things that need to get done, but once you start checking them off and they're quicker than you think, then things get done.
That's right, because our town was having like the Taste of Fest.
Oh, no,
the night before. Yeah. So Arlington Heights was having like the Taste of Arlington Heights the night before. We went last year, and it was so fun because I don't know, it was like one of the first fall things we did.
Yep.
Everyone's out, everyone kind of looks like cozy again, and you get like cider donuts, and I don't know, it just feels like a fall thing. So we went last year, and we've been keeping an eye out for it this year. And of course, it just so happened to land the day before our party and the day of our party. So on that Friday, we wanted to go out and go to it, but I was telling him, like, I don't know if we're gonna go because I have a lot to do. And I had this big checklist. I'm like, no, we're probably not gonna go out.
Oh, but we went, and our outfits that night too were they were something else. I wore like a light almost
like
highlighter green type of flannel, and then you wore like a pink sweater. Like they were fall, but
on their own, but together they looked like, what are we wearing together?
Yeah, like the color combo looked like we were, I don't know, fuzzy animals or something that kids would play with or something like that. But we definitely stood out, that's for sure. But yeah, besides the point.
What was I saying?
We had a lot to do on the checklist. We went to there, but
yes, okay. So I had written everything down, and like just during my regular day, I was checking things off slowly. I was like, okay, these are not as much as I like made it out to be in my head. But anyways, all that to say that it happened. People started getting there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we did it. We pulled it off. And on top of all that, the one thing that was stressing us out the most was the weather.
Yes, the weather. And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll say this. Like, meteorologists have a job to do. I understand that. They go to school for it. All of that. But man, like, I've never seen a job where you can be wrong as many times as they are and still have a job. And to be fair too, it's not like we were watching like the Weather Channel or like the news and seeing like a weather person say that. We only just looked at our apps and it said 40% chance of rain at this time. It never rained. Literally never rained. The sun even came out. And we were worried that, maybe we would even have to push this back at some point because we were scared of the weather. No. Never did. And I kind of had that feeling the entire week, like it's not going to rain. Because I just don't trust, the apps, the weather people, anything like that. But it ended up being perfect.
It ended up being so perfect. And even that morning, we had my cousin, just drop off tents just in case. But we kind of already knew that morning, okay, there's literally no rain happening in the forecast now. So now, day of, I feel like we can trust it a little bit more than like a day or two before. But... yeah. That was the one thing. And actually, you know what? The night before, we were just picking up some drinks and stuff, and the sky was the prettiest that I've seen it in so long. Yeah. The sky was so pink. I'm going to insert a picture. Actually, you're going to insert a picture. And it kind of made me feel like, okay, I think we're going to be fine tomorrow.
Before we kind of talk about the actual party, can you paint the picture, though? Like, we were talking about setting it up. Like, can you paint the picture for maybe just the listeners, what it looked like when you kind of go through the first steps into your backyard? How would you describe it?
How would I describe it? Yeah. I mean, it was literally like what we pictured. It was just my sister made us a really nice welcome sign. We had all the tables set out with like your candles, flowers, and flowers
like along the fence.
Wait, can we just insert a picture of that? Yeah, I have one.
Of course we can insert a picture, but people can't see that if they're listening. But there's lights that go, that were kind of going from...
My mom hung up like the market lights in the back.
Side of the house to like the fence.
Yeah. We had some like...
high tables too that were off to the side. Lounge tables.
We had my parents' cute little deck all lit up too. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It was
just
so perfect.
The tacos were... like where they had set up, like we had to kind of adjust on the fly to make it work with, I guess, the space, right?
Yeah. So we had them, we wanted them in a specific area, but it just didn't, with what they had, I didn't realize they were going to come with so much. So we had to kind of move them. And that's when I started to get just a little bit stressed out because I was getting ready at that point. And my mom was like, they're here and they can't fit where you want them. And I was like, oh. And you weren't there at that point because you had gone back home to get ready too and shower and all that stuff. So I didn't want to run out. I was literally in like my jammies, like makeup half done. I didn't want to run out, but I was just like, you know what? Like anywhere in the back's fine. As long as they're not like anywhere in the front, just somewhere in the back.
Yeah.
So that's not the first thing people see when they walk in, but somewhere. But anyways, so yeah, it ended up being so perfect.
Amazing. Yeah, it was I didn't know. I didn't know what to picture, but I knew like
because the vision was in my head.
Okay. I mean, obviously your parents' backyard is really nice, like very put together, and then with everything in there, I just didn't know what to envision, but when we saw everything was done, it looked so nice. It looked like you can like posted in like a magazine. Like, here's how you do a little.
It wasn't that.
Yes, it did. It like for like things you can do on your own. You don't have to go get a venue or like anything like that. Like, this is what you can do. And
well, I'm
boom.
glad you feel that way.
Yeah,
it felt very cute and cozy back there.
sure it was. And we'll kind of get into the actual party itself, but we're gonna take a quick little break here, and I have to tell everybody about our good friends and partners at OWYN, which stands for Only What You Need. I have one of the elite protein shakes right here, 32 grams of protein, come in awesome flavors, and the pre-made shakes are really convenient and good for if you're on the go or you're at the gym and just need something to refuel. Just go check out OWYN. Their elite protein shakes. They also have the powders that you can use, and even some other drinks like the double shot, which comes with 20 grams of protein. So if you want a little bit of your caffeine but also protein, you can do something like this as well. But OWYN's awesome and they taste great. And if you want to save some money on your next OWYN purchase, you can actually use the promo code COUPLEGOALS. You save 15% off your first purchase. So you stack up on all your OWYN products, use the promo code COUPLEGOALS, and you save 15% off. You can also save money too if you're looking for, let's say, concert tickets, game tickets, whether it's for football, basketball is coming back, hockey, all those. You can check out SeatGeek, and you can use our promo code COUPLESCOVERAGE, and you save $20 off your purchase. So with fall coming up, there's a bunch of different things that are happening. We're looking into doing some fall festivities, whatever that may be, but you can probably use SeatGeek to find tickets for whatever you're looking for. So use the promo code COUPLESCOVERAGE and save $20 off your purchase.
Thanks, OWYN and SeatGeek.
Boom. We added a little bit to your part there. There you go.
Oh, I just gotta do so much. Gotta remember so much.
So much. Okay, the actual party now. People are getting there. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, so again, I was in shambles.
In shambles.
All the night before, I couldn't even sleep because this is a big deal to me. Our parents have never met, and I've always been kind of embarrassed to say that because at the end of the day, it is up to us to like kind of get them together and organize something for everyone to like meet,
Mm-hmm.
And we've just never done that, and it's always made me feel really guilty.
It's not like we haven't tried. Like we've asked, like, when are you available? But
I know, but it just hasn't worked until now.
Yeah, it just hasn't worked.
So, but to be fair, like we only started trying not that long ago. It's literally only been like a couple of months, and that's even more reason for us to throw this party. It's just what we wanted is like, let's have our families meet and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, they've heard so much about each other.
Yeah.
They have communicated through us. My mom sent your mom like plans and stuff and things like that. So I don't know. I think that was the part that was just like really making me like nervous all morning long.
Mm-hmm.
I had to take some deep breaths before we even went out there because I was like, I don't know why. I think it's because it's been so long. If they were to have met, early on, it wouldn't have been like even a thought now. But because it's been so long, it's almost when you wait longer, the more you like build it up, right? So
I mean, for you, that's how it felt. For me, I was kind of just excited for them to meet. Like, I wasn't nervous at all about them meeting for the first. Well, my dad has met your parents. My mom has not. Didn't up until that point. But even then, I wasn't nervous at all. I was more so like, when are you guys gonna get here? Like, we put it at 4. It was like 4:30ish or whatever, and then they showed up. But like when they met for the first time, and you were actually, I think, getting tacos at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm seeing my mom and dad come in, so I say hi, and then you're over getting the tacos.
I saw my taco, like they were getting them ready, and it was like, can you put them right there, please? Because I'll be right back.
Uh-huh.
That's when I saw that your parents were here, and I ran over. But I think at that point, had they already said hi to each other, or were
I
they
think
still?
your mom had said hi, and then as they were kind of walking down, then they had said hi to your dad. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, I mean, it almost seemed like even though they hadn't officially, or my mom hadn't met it didn't seem like that.
You think so?
And yeah, I don't think so at all. I think they, like you said, they had known so much and heard so much about your parents that, it just was like a seamless transition.
Yeah, it made me so happy. I had to take pictures. I was like, I need to get pictures of this.
Yeah.
And there's a cute picture I have of our dads talking.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like
my
side
dad
by
pulls
side.
up a chair. He's like, they're super close. He's kind of leaning in.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
It's so sweet to me. I've been waiting for it for so long. So nervous for it. So to see them like talking and it be so like smooth, which I don't know why it wouldn't be, but for some reason I was just nervous about it. But just seeing it made me so happy. I kept telling you all night, like, I'm so happy.
I know.
And I thought that we would have to be like with them. I don't know. Kind of like holding their hands through it, like, and this is this, and like, I don't know, but they literally like just ran with it. Did something just die? Oh, I heard a sound. Anyways, they like ran with it, didn't need us at all. And what happened? Our laptop. Oh.
You just keep on rolling. Yes.
Sorry, it was hard for me to think when you were there. I thought my laptop died.
Nope, all good.
But yeah, and they even disappeared for a while. Like, just went off chatting on their own.
Went into the front yard for a little bit. And yeah, we're just, again, chatting the night away.
My dad was talking about how like your dad talks about Brady like it's his grandson. Like, really? So proud. Like, he was telling him like he's got friends at the park. And my dad thought it was so sweet.
That's hilarious. That's pretty funny. But he does. Our little Brady boy has friends at the park.
I wish he was there too. But yeah, and even our friends, I've always talked about wanting to throw a party at my parents' house because it does have those like cozy vibes, and my parents have worked so hard on their yard, and it shows. Like, they love it, and I miss it, honestly, because in the summers, like, I liked being back there. They have all these little like different lounge areas and stuff. So yeah, just seeing all of our friends and our families there was something like I'll literally remember it forever.
Yeah, and shout out to my uncle Peachy for kind of, if there was any like hesitancy between people and bringing families together, a great way to bring everybody together is just to take a shot of tequila.
Community shot.
And my uncle and my brother went to I guess a gas station somewhere, or a local just.
Oh, he did? I thought he brought it with him.
No, they went somewhere, brought a bottle of tequila, had some shot glasses for everybody, and kind of go around. Everybody was in a circle, and I said a couple of things, didn't know what I wanted to actually say, but got everyone together. Everyone took a shot, and like something like that. Again, like, there were some people that didn't know each other, obviously, or meeting them for the first time, but I thought that was a great way for my uncle to kind of just bring everybody together. Yeah. But what was surprising is that there were people that knew each other from both of our families.
Which is so crazy to me. Okay, so I've always thought it's crazy that there are times where there's one person that connects you and you wouldn't know unless you all get together like this. Mm-hmm. And in our situation, there were people who already knew each other and we had no idea within our families. Yeah. Which was like, hello, what? Like, I was in shock. So for example, you're Tia Norma. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tia Norma. Mm-hmm. She happened to know my brother.
Crazy, random. Had no idea, but yeah.
This is someone that you're close to. Like, yep. You know how like every family kind of has their like core group that you see a lot. There's sometimes family that you don't see as often, but then there's your little core group that you see very often. She's always there. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was like, how did we not know that your aunt and my brother knew each other?
To be fair, how would we know though?
Because they work for the same company.
I know, but like, how would she know, like, who, your brother is in relation to you?
Right, that's true.
Unless it's like,
but they've seen each other. And you know what? Growing up, I've always said people thought that me and my brother were twins. So, and then there's been times in high school when I don't think we looked as much alike, but still there were times where people would come up to me and tell me, I saw someone who looked just like you in the hall. And I'm like, it's probably my brother.
my brother, yeah.
And then when they eventually point him out, I'm like, yes, that's my brother. So I'm always surprised that if it's someone she's seen around, she didn't think we look alike, which is like, what, some people see it, some people don't. So
yeah, no, I mean, that's fair. But yeah, no, that was one of the examples. Another one was my cousin. Like, I saw him at one point in the park just talking to, I think it was like your parent, like he was like center and he was talking to like a bunch of members of your family. And I'm like, interesting. Like, I know my cousin Christian, he's sociable and, we'll talk, but I'm like, man, he's like holding court there. And then come to find out, he knows your uncle. How again? Like, because
also work together.
They work together. Like, and yeah, so it's crazy how, again, you bring people together in a party setting and then you find out, I know so-and-so, and it's just crazy how that can happen.
I know. I feel like there was another one.
If there was, I mean, it wouldn't be surprising.
Your Uncle Peachy and then one of our friends also worked together. Or
they knew of each other.
They knew of each other, but
that was the first time they actually spoke in person to each other.
So honestly, just insane to me, and sometimes it makes me feel like, of course, like I feel like there's been a lot that has kind of shown me like, it's so corny. Never mind. I'm like, that it's meant to be. But there has been times where I felt like that, and it's like, this just kind of makes me feel like that all over again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was an awesome time. We had a great engagement party, really good food, good vibes, good people.
We were missing some people though.
We were missing a couple people,
but still, like,
yeah,
so smooth. I couldn't have asked for like anything better.
No, I mean,
and I don't know. It just makes me so happy. Now I'm just like literally always looking at these pictures. And I'm just like, I literally cried last night.
Did you?
Was it last night or 2 nights ago? Remember, maybe you were on the couch. You were laying down.
Maybe I fell asleep.
And no, you were awake.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. And I do remember that now.
Yeah. It was just because I felt so like, I don't know. I felt so much like gratitude, I guess. Love. For all the people that like helped us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because so many people help. I don't know. And then also, maybe it's just me. I always call them my high thoughts, even though I'm not high. But I'm like, people went out of their way to like bring something, even like making a dessert. Like someone made something to bring so for us. Dessert. And I'm just like, this is so sweet. Mm-hmm. And I don't really think about it. But when you're the one kind of like organizing something, you realize how much, like I said, actually goes into it. And it makes you appreciate everything so much more. And so that's how I felt. I'm like, everyone, it wasn't just us, even though we planned it. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of like people coming together to help us. And I don't know. I just felt so loved.
Yeah, for sure. And, I just, after that day, I just came to the realization, like, we can throw a fun party. Like, we did it. Like, we had everything set up. And, if we have to do that again, we'll be ready. We'll be ready to...
For your dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
You're turning 30.
On a Wednesday. Found that out today. Randomly.
Well, you can party it up on a Wednesday.
No, I'm kidding. Does not sound great at all. But yeah, so if we need to throw another awesome party, I know we can do it.
But yeah, honestly, it made me really excited for our wedding, if that's how I feel after like... Mm-hmm. A little party like this. I can't wait for the actual wedding. And I know like for the wedding, I won't be the one setting up and I won't have these like little stresses throughout the day. So
I can only
yeah, for sure, different stresses, but still it just makes me more excited for that.
Yeah, knowing like this is what it was like for, again, a smaller, we put get together right on the invitations, and it'll be a lot bigger for the wedding.
And you know what, next time when we have like a rehearsal dinner, that's kind of when we're going to be like a second party like this, because that's kind of what I want to do. We're gonna have like literally everyone from out of town, because no one we know lives in North Carolina. Actually, I think I have a cousin in North Carolina, but yeah, I think it's gonna be even bigger because everyone's coming in from out of town. So we gotta host like a nice rehearsal dinner, I guess. Something. We gotta host something, but
yeah, we'll figure it out. We have some time, but yeah, that'll be like probably the next big thing that we look forward to doing. So
yeah,
it'll be fun. Like it was last Saturday. It'll be a lot of fun.
Super, super fun. I'm proud of us.
Me too. Like, yeah. I looked at the backyard. Like, we did it. we freaking did it. Like, we had everything set up, and it was a really fun time. So one of real quickly now, because as we're kind of getting close to the end of this episode of Couples Coverage, we found out one of the perks of being engaged. Or you found out firsthand, but you want to share that story of I
think you wanted to share a story.
Well, yes, but you were the one who experienced it. All I got was a text. I don't even remember exactly what it said, but I think it said like some guy's trying to hit on me, and I'm like, what? And like this isn't the first time I've gotten that text from like guys trying to hit on you, but this may have been the first. Yeah, this is definitely the first time a guy tried to hit on you when you had a ring on your finger. So what happened?
So I don't remember what I was getting from Jewel, but the point is I went to a grocery store. Well, I went to Jewel-esco to get something. Jules. And as I was going inside the store, there was a guy in front of me, and he like turned around, and then he was like, "Oh, let me get the door for you."
The automatic doors.
The automatic doors.
Slick.
And then he asked me what my name was, and I get like uncomfortable, but I did answer him. I said my name, and then he was like, "Okay, well maybe I'll see you around." And I kind of just like laughed. I was like I kind of just laughed, and I kept going. I didn't answer him. I didn't say anything. I just like went and got the cart. And I started walking around, and I think that's when I texted you, because I get uncomfy. So of course I'm gonna text you and just be like, like someone's trying to talk to me. So, that was it. I kind of like walked around, wasn't expecting to like really see or like talk to this guy again. And then at some point in like the freezer aisle, I hear my name. He's like, "What's up, Stephanie?" And then I turned around. And I didn't say anything. I just kept walking. And then what did he say? I forget what he said. But he was like, "No, wait, hold up." And then I just yelled. Like I just told him. I was like, "I'm engaged." And then everyone in the aisle kind of turned around, because at that point it's like, ooh, drama. Like, what's happening here?
Take that, dude.
So it's kind of embarrassing, honestly. But it was like, wow, easy way to get someone to like leave you alone.
Yes, especially because it was true. I feel like there are people that, also do that when, like, they don't have a boyfriend and they're not engaged, and like they could use that as an excuse. But
you know what? I've always wanted to get to the point where it's like, I'm just not interested. No, not I have a boyfriend, or no, I'm engaged. It's just like, no, I'm not interested. And I want to get to the point where I can say that, even though this is nice too.
Wait, I'm confused. Whether you're not interested.
I want to get to the point where I can just say that without being an excuse of I have a boyfriend or I'm engaged. I can just openly say I'm not interested, or leave me alone. You know what I mean? I want to have like the confidence to say just that. Without
being like obviously, it's not that it's rude.
I mean, I'm not going to the grocery store to get hit on. Leave me alone.
Okay, so this is where I wanted to bring this up real quick. If you're a single person, if you're single and you do see someone that is attractive, is it okay to approach that person in a grocery store, at a place that, somewhere that's wherever it can be? Is that okay? If, like, obviously he didn't do anything egregious. He tried to be funny with like, I'll hold the door. And if like that other person was single, like, I wonder.
What if I was interested? Like, if I was someone who was single and was interested, maybe I'd be like, oh, I saw this guy at a grocery store. But I don't know. Maybe me.
I feel like as a girl, okay, like for a girl, you don't you don't want to get approached. I would think when you're going to a grocery store, like there are guys that will try to hit on girls at the gym. That's never like the best approach either.
Yeah.
But
then there are people who like, oh, they have a gym crush and they're waiting for their gym crush to approach them. So I don't know. I really feel like it depends on the person. And actually, when I was single, sometimes I would think like, oh, I wonder if I would ever run into someone at a grocery store. Like I like, this sounds so corny, but like, I don't know.
Your fantasies of running into your
that's kind of corny.
Prince Charming.
I always thought either
store.
like a
oh, you're getting
like a dog park or like a coffee shop, something more like
you're
romantic.
getting bread too. I love this bread. We should talk about this bread.
It's just corny, but I do remember having that thought when I was younger, and like you see, so I was into like people who were like healthier.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say like at a health store or a grocery store that's like healthier. I thought maybe, but
I mean, I probably honestly was like, if I were to run into like when I was single, like I don't know if I don't think I've ever done that though. Like approached a girl like at a grocery store
public space?
or like a public space like that. I don't think so. Not that I can remember, and like if I would admit it if I remembered it, but I don't think I've ever done that. Like if it was something, it was like maybe I knew somebody from school or something like that, but never openly like that. But
just random someone that you see.
Yeah, that guy, was trying to shoot his shot, and
he missed.
He missed, and it also helps that.
But it was funny because he really did. Like thankfully and like respectfully walked away after that.
And yeah, that's good. Like I feel like there are some people that okay, like like what the what the, but yeah, no. So I thought that was funny hearing that. I forgot what I texted back, but I'm like,
you always say I'll destroy him.
I'll destroy him. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah.
The perks of being engaged. So you can.
Have you ever had to pull that card yet?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Have you felt like since we've been engaged or in the course of our relationship, someone trying to flirt with you?
Trying to flirt?
Because see, when it happens to me, I want to text you. But would you text me if someone's doing the same to you?
Like in person? I don't think I've had any like what you have, because you've had like I said just earlier, like you've had that a couple times.
Okay, I'm very like I don't know if I'm a homebody, but I'm like I go to work and I work from home most of the time. I go to Target. I'm like I'm not really leaving, but when I do, I was like, wow, confidence boost.
Yeah, and for me, my work, like I'm not around a
lot of girls.
No, I'm not. Yeah, to be completely honest, it's mostly like it's football. So yeah, no, doesn't really happen. But I get why guys hit on you. So
thanks.
Completely makes a lot of sense. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Episode 37, couples coverage. Leave us a comment if you've been hit on in a grocery store or wherever you may have been hit on. Love hearing those stories.
I do too.
Like just again, you would consider it a little awkward and like
I get
surprising.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, uncomfortable. Has that happened to you? Do you want it to happen to you? Let us know. Let us know in the comments. Because apparently at one point you did. But
what?
You were fantasizing about meeting someone and talking about bread. No,
I didn't say that.
I said that. But no, let us know if you've had any interesting interactions and have been hit on at a grocery store like my fiance has.
Wait, that's so funny. Can I actually, because one of not fantasy, but like somewhere that I thought, oh, it would be cute to meet someone at like a dog park.
Mm-hmm.
So when you used to take Brady to the dog park, I'm like, what girl is over there like thinking she's gonna meet a guy at a dog park and then you're there with Brady.
Yeah, no. No, I don't think they're just older people.
Yeah.
Just, Brady's friends at the dog park. Just the usuals.
Brady's friends.
Brady's friends at the dog park. He's a popular one. But yeah, let us know if you've had any fun interactions like that. We'd love to hear them. But thank you again for listening to this episode or watching this episode. We really appreciate it. Of course, you can go and subscribe to Couples Coverage on YouTube at Couples Coverage. Or if you're someone who just listens to the audio, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you can find us there. Also, give us a follow on Instagram, TikTok. We would really appreciate that. But we'll be back next week. Keep this consistency rolling. It feels good to record on these Tuesday nights and publish Wednesday mornings. But we will be back next week. But until then, adios.
Bye.